Recently, I've been seeing videos online saying that humans were created by ancient aliens, or the Anunnaki, through genetic engineering. Some people share these ideas with confidence, and honestly, I understand why it grabs attention. But today, I just want to give you my personal opinion. Not as a scientist, not as a historian, but simply as a Christian who believes in God as our creator. Because I truly think content like this can influence people, especially Christians who are still growing in their faith. Let's be real. The idea that powerful beings came down from the sky, taught humans knowledge, and created early civilizations. It's dramatic, it's entertaining, and it's mysterious. When people talk about the Anunnaki, they show ancient Sumerian carvings of tall figures standing beside humans. They show symbols and writings that look advanced, and they claim this is proof that we were genetically engineered. To someone scrolling through YouTube or TikTok, it might sound convincing. So I'm not surprised people get curious or confused. But here's where my Christian faith comes in. As a believer, I don't see ancient carvings as evidence that aliens created us. Instead, I see something completely different. I see the same thing God warned us about in the Bible. Ancient civilizations creating their own gods, idols, and myths. The Sumerians had their own religious stories. The Egyptians had theirs. The Greeks had their own gods too. This doesn't mean the myths are true. It simply means every culture tried to explain life in its own way. I believe what the Bible says, that God created mankind in His image, not in the image of another race, not through a genetic experiment, not by aliens coming to Earth, but by a loving Creator who formed us with purpose. When I first saw these videos, I paused and really asked myself, if humans were engineered by aliens, then who engineered the aliens? It doesn't solve anything. It just moves the question one step earlier. Some channels say aliens created us in a lab, but think about it. Even if that were true, where did they get the intelligence? Where did they get life? Where did they get DNA? Every creation has a creator. Even aliens, if they existed, would still need a source. For me as a Christian, that source is God. Not because I was taught that, but because it just makes sense on a deeper level. So the real question is not whether aliens exist, or whether advanced civilizations might be out there. The real question is this: what is the ultimate source of everything? No matter how far back we trace the chain of creation, we reach a point where something must have existed first. Something uncreated. Something eternal. Something powerful enough to bring the universe into existence. The universe had a beginning, and beginnings require a cause. Randomness does not produce order without laws. When we look at the universe, we see precision everywhere. Even DNA, the blueprint of life, contains incredible information. Information always comes from intelligence. It's almost as if we were designed not just to live, but to seek our Creator. The ultimate answer is not aliens. The ultimate answer is God. So let's talk directly about the Anunnaki. The truth is this. Historians have explained that the word Anunnaki simply refers to ancient Sumerian gods, mythological, symbolic beings. Many carvings show these beings larger than humans because ancient art was symbolic. That's how they portrayed gods, kings, and important figures. The ancients weren't describing real aliens. They were creating religious stories to explain the world around them, just like other ancient cultures. So here's something I realized while watching these ancient alien videos. They often sound convincing at first. The music is dramatic. The images look mysterious. And the narrator speaks with confidence. But confidence does not equal truth. And a good story does not automatically make something real. When I looked deeper, I noticed something important. Most of these videos repeat the same ideas, the same theories, and the same mysterious claims. But very rarely do they talk about God as the true creator. Instead, they replace the creator with visitors from space. And slowly, without realizing it, people begin to wonder if maybe the Bible is just another story. But faith was never meant to be based on internet trends. Faith is built through truth, through prayer, and through a personal relationship with God. I believe that God created us with purpose, not as an experiment, not as a project, but as His creation. The idea that humans were engineered by aliens might sound exciting, but it removes something important. It removes the meaning behind why we exist. It turns people into accidents instead of intentional creations. And if we forget that we were created by God, we can start losing our sense of identity. This is why it's important to stay grounded in truth, to question what we watch, and to remember where we come from. Because no matter how advanced technology becomes, no matter how many theories appear, one truth remains the same. We were created with purpose. We were created with meaning. And we were created by God. Before this video ends, I want you to pause for just a moment and think about something. Look at your hands. Feel your heartbeat. Take a breath. Right now, at this very moment, you are alive. Not by accident, not by coincidence, but by design. Long before the first ancient civilization carved symbols into stone, long before the first stories were told about gods from the sky, long before the first theories about aliens and lost knowledge, God already knew you would exist. Out of billions of people across history, you are here, alive in this moment, seeing this message, hearing these words. That is not random. That is purpose. The universe is vast beyond imagination. Galaxies stretch across distances we cannot measure. Stars burn for millions of years. Planets move in perfect order. And yet, the same God who designed all of that chose to create you, not as an experiment, not as a mistake, but as someone made with intention, made with meaning, made in His design. And no theory can change that. No ancient myth can erase that. No modern idea can replace that. Because the truth is simple. You were created, you were known, and you were loved before you ever took your first breath. So when the world fills your mind with confusion, return to what is true. God is the creator of life, and you are part of that creation. Never forget who made you, and never forget your worth. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Stay strong in your faith.